Arsenal handed surprise Piero Hincapie decision as Transfer Truth explained. Welcome to Football Focus. Hope you're all having a great day. Before we kick off, if you love football, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive in. Arsenal are closing in on the signing of Bayer Leverkusen defender Piero Hincapie, although the Bundesliga club have made a surprise decision concerning the Ecuador international. Bayer Leverkusen have made a surprise decision over soon-to-be Arsenal defender Piero Hincapie. Football.Focus understands that Hincapie is set to join the Gunners on a season-long loan with an option to buy for £45 million. A medical is expected to be arranged shortly, and he could make his debut for the Mikel Arteta's side against Nottingham Forest following the international break. The 23-year-old made the move from Argentine Premier League side Talleres to Leverkusen in August 2021 and has since made quite the impression in Germany. With 166 appearances for Leverkusen under his belt, along with 7 goals and 3 trophies, including the Bundesliga in the 2023-24 season, Hincapie is certainly one to watch. But despite his imminent arrival in North London, Leverkusen have opted to name the Ecuadorian on the bench for Saturday's Bundesliga clash at Werder Bremen. The German club are managed by former Manchester United head coach Erik ten Hag and will be looking to recover from an opening day defeat to Hoffenheim. Speaking at his pre-match press conference about Hincapie's future, Ten Hag said, "I won't take it into consideration, but there are always rumours. On Tuesday, we'll know what it looks like. We have good players, so there's always a lot of interest. If you ask Piero, he'll travel to Bremen." Arsenal have until 7 p.m. BST on Monday, September 1, to get a deal officially over the line. The Gunners have spent over £250 million on 7 players in the summer transfer window so far, with Hincapie likely to be their final new signing. The defender will face stern competition if he is to earn a regular spot in Arteta's team. So far, the Arsenal head coach has trusted William Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Ricardo Calafiori to start both Premier League fixtures so far this season. Meanwhile, Ben White was swapped out for injury for Jurrien Timber. Arsenal handed surprise Piero Hincapie decision as Transfer Truth explained. The future of Piero Hincapie has taken a twist that few anticipated, with Arsenal suddenly finding themselves at the centre of one of the most intriguing defensive sagas of the summer window. The Bayer Leverkusen defender, who has been consistently linked with a Premier League move since his emergence in Germany, was long thought to be high on Arsenal's defensive shortlist. Yet, the reality behind the negotiations, the interest from Mikel Arteta and the wider strategy inside the Emirates hierarchy paints a far more complex picture than fans might have expected. Arsenal's defensive depth has been a key talking point ever since William Saliba's injury in the 2023-24 campaign derailed their Premier League title charge. The memory of that collapse still lingers, pushing the board into searching relentlessly for reinforcements. Hincapie, a left-footed centre-back with experience in the Bundesliga and internationally with Ecuador, appeared to be the perfect candidate. His technical comfort on the ball, aggressive defensive instincts, and age profile fitted almost exactly into Arteta's model of a modern-day Arsenal defender. Yet, the surprise twist is that Arsenal, while monitoring him for months, have not gone all in. Bayer Leverkusen have made their stance clear. They will not allow the 22-year-old to leave for anything less than a premium fee, especially given his long-term contract until 2027. With Leverkusen standing firm and using their strong financial position, Arsenal have been forced into a decision-making process that reveals a lot about their priorities. The truth is that while Hincapie has admirers inside the Emirates, Arsenal are also weighing the broader squad-building project. They are conscious of the financial fair play regulations and the balance between spending big on another defender or allocating resources elsewhere, such as midfield and attacking reinforcements. That's why, despite regular scouting and ongoing contacts, Arsenal have slowed down the push for Hincapie. They see him as an option, but not yet as the definitive solution. It is a reminder of how Edu Gaspar and the recruitment team operate, always balancing immediate needs with long-term value. Arteta has often spoken of versatility as a non-negotiable attribute, and while Hincapie ticks many boxes, Arsenal know they cannot afford to overload in one area when other positions demand urgent upgrades. Supporters, however, have been restless, especially after repeated rumours linking rivals like Liverpool, Newcastle, and even Chelsea with defensive reinforcements. The fear is that Arsenal could miss out on a player who seems built for their system. The reality is that Arsenal's cautious stance is strategic. By refusing to be dragged into a bidding war and waiting to see how the market develops, they are keeping their powder dry for when the timing suits them best. Hincapie's camp is aware of Arsenal's admiration. The player himself has not hidden his ambition to play in England eventually, and that only fuels speculation. But insiders insist that Arsenal are taking a patient approach, knowing that rushing into an inflated deal could compromise their ability to act in other key areas. The surprise decision is therefore not that Arsenal don't rate Hincapie, but that they are willing to step back despite months of noise linking the Ecuadorian with the Emirates. In truth, Arsenal's defensive options already include Gabriel, Saliba, Jakub Kiwior, Ben White and Jurrien Timber. Adding Hincapie immediately would create depth, but might not solve the most urgent problems elsewhere. That calculation has led to a cooling off that fans perceive as surprising, but insiders describe as deliberate. At the same time, Leverkusen's own sporting project under Xabi Alonso has played a part. With Champions League football secured and Hincapie central to their defensive setup, the German club has zero incentive to sell. In fact, they have privately communicated to suitors that the summer of 2025 is a more realistic time for a potential exit. For Arsenal, this changes the game. It is not that the door is closed, but rather that the timing is not aligned. The explanation behind this transferred truth is that Arsenal will remain engaged, monitoring Hincapie's development, but are prepared to look elsewhere if immediate needs force their hand. Other defensive names remain on their radar, but Hincapie continues to sit on a list of targets whose pursuit will depend on shifting circumstances. What makes this story compelling is how it reflects Arsenal's new way of operating. In the past, Arsenal often jumped impulsively into transfers, sometimes overpaying or misjudging priorities. But under Arteta and Edu, there is an insistence on patience, structure, and discipline. That means that even when a player like Hincapie fits stylistically, the club will not allow external pressure or fan expectations to dictate the pace of negotiations. The surprise decision is ultimately a reflection of Arsenal's growth into a more mature, calculated operation. Still, the conversation is far from over. The season ahead could easily shift dynamics. If Arsenal suffered defensive injuries again, the urgency to bring in someone like Hincapie will spike. If rivals accelerate their pursuits, Arsenal could be forced to respond more aggressively. For now, the message is clear. Arsenal are admirers, not aggressors in the Hincapie saga. They are playing the long game, even if that means surprising their own fan base by stepping back. The transfer truth is that Arsenal are not desperate, and in today's market, that in itself is a statement of intent. Thank you so much for watching our video. For all the latest football news and analysis, be sure to subscribe to the Football Focus YouTube channel and stay with us.